Well, good days. I once again, deep light, dark bright, and well, I'm being bright about being in the dark. And can you be bright when you're in the dark? No, you can't be, because you're deeply bright. And when you're deeply bright, you can't be in the dark. And when you're deeply bright, you're in the light, aren't you? Yes, why? Because you're deeply bright, and when you're deeply bright, you're full of light, and you're in the light, and you can't be in the dark, can you? No. So, when you're deeply light and in the light, you're out of the dark. So, can you be bright and deep? Yes, you can. And you can be, well, dark about it. Yes, you could. You can be bright and deep and, well, dark about being bright. When you're dark about being bright, you're not in the light, are you? No, you're not. And you're not being deep about it. So, it's best just to be deep light and dark bright. And, well, be bright and dark and deep and light about it. So, which brings me to my point of what? About being bright. And if you're bright and you're deep, and you have light, and you're not dark, that means you have an ego. Well, it seems I have an ego, and I'm deep about it, and I'm bright about it, and, well, I know I'm light about it, and I can't be dark about it, no, because I have an ego, and we all have an ego, you know? So if you go, and I go, and, well, if you go and I go, that means we have an ego. So how does an ego work? Well, let's see, an ego, well, it's preceded by an E, and not an I. How strange is that? So, if we have an ego, we should have an I-go. When you think about that, it should be I-go. But if it's more than one of us, well, then we have a we-go. And we all go, because we have an ego. We go. But it's called ego, not I-go. So there shouldn't be an E. And if it's, well, if you have an ego, then it should be a you-go. Like, a you. Like, you go. But that means you wouldn't have an ego. You just have a you-go. Huh. You could drive your ego everywhere in a you-go, couldn't you? Yes, you could. But we don't drive our ego. Our ego drives us. Drives us where? Everywhere. We like to go with our ego. We travel with our ego. You know? Yes, you do. So, if we have an ego, and we know we have an ego, and not an I-go, though it should be an I-go and not an ego, and it could be a you-go or a we-go, well, let's see. We all could have a you-go, I-go, we-go. So if I go and you go and we go, we all love to what? Go with our ego. Wherever we go. Because wherever we go, well, we take our ego with us, don't we? So we go. Yes, we do. Well, I can see that I've been really deep about this and bright about it. And, well, not so light and not so dark. But I know that I know that I know. And how do I know that I know that I know this? Well, because I have what? An ego. And that I know.